bit more open than it was.
You think that Lamar's already a better passer than Garoppolo?
I think there are plenty of people that are better passers than Garoppolo.
I'm not like a big Garoppolo believer.
Even the game when they just blow the fuck out when their tight end was just wide open. They just wouldn't cover the tight end. Like that's not going to happen against elite teams. Like,
Right.
So I feel like if you're counting on Garoppolo to carry you, you're mistaken. But I feel like Emmanuel Sanders and Kittle will carry you enough to make Garoppolo look like a good quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of it with Garoppolo has to do with how effectively they run the ball.
Yeah.
So it's going to make him look a lot better. Yeah, I just know that usually betting-wise, home field advantage is considered 3 points.
Yeah.
Y'all won by
but that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm just kind of wondering.
I'm saying, I'm
if it's fourth down, you're going for it on fourth down, and all of a sudden Lamar can't hear to snap the ball.
When I'm watching the game, I just felt like I was watching the end of the game, and I'm like,
I know in that final drive, y'all moved that shit to field goal range at will.
Yeah, and
I think y'all did go for it on fourth down, even on that drive, right?
Yeah, we went for it on fourth. And I was watching it, and I'm just like, as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, they don't want to score a touchdown.
Yeah,
I feel like they could have scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
very easily it seemed because they just moved the fucking ball down the field.
Yeah,
but then I'm like, oh, they're just let me run sideways, let me pound it on this simple dive. Like I just felt like if they wanted to score more points, they could have. Which I mean, I'm sure everybody would say that, but I feel like watching the game, it felt like the Ravens could have scored at least a couple more points, and they could have scored a touchdown at the end of the game.
Okay,
which would have made the spread
even bigger. Yeah, the last score, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, doesn't change my mind on how good the team is.
Yeah.
Because I don't look at it as like, 3 points. You got beat by 3 points. You barely got out of there, or if you got beat by 7. At the end of the day, they scored on the final drive.
Yeah.
You allowed it or you didn't.
Which
now betting wise is everything.
It's terrible. It lets the NFL know if you're in a close game with the Ravens and you don't end the game, you're fucked because they can go. They took up the last 7 minutes of that game.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to see Lamar, and I want to see him in a situation like that.
If you're not beating them badly, or if it's close, if they're down 2 or it's tied, and if you give Lamar the ball with time left, they can stretch the whole quarter and it could be a drive. Realistically, they could be like, "We're just gonna take it slow. We got 12 minutes to kill. Tight."
But I mean, San Francisco did the same thing. Because I was looking at the first half numbers.
And it was lopsided.
Yeah, I ran something like 18 plays in the first half or some shit like that because San Francisco had the ball that much. And that's, where, what was it? Mostert was out there.
Yeah, he was eating,
Yeah. So both capable of the same thing. Teams built very similarly, although they're so different.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, y'all run a power inside with the running backs, outside with the quarterback. They run
outside with the running
back, stretch,
bootleg.
But still the same principle. Still the bootleg. It's still run based.
The big problem, the big difference is Garoppolo ain't running nowhere.
Right.
And they only have 2 real receivers, one being a tight end.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the big difference.
Now you want to talk about some struggling with receivers.
Yeah.
Like you saw how he looked.
Yeah.
How Garoppolo looked when he didn't have his guys.
Exactly.
Okay, that was like 3 or 4 games ago.
So
he didn't have his guys, and I mean nobody was like, Garoppolo, he sucks.
That's because people been saying that all season.
I think there's a lot more Garoppolo believers than
people.
I feel like he gets more belief. Yeah, exactly, because of that record. Yeah. Because he's 16-2 or something like that. I think there's so many more believers in him than people understand how team works.
I don't understand why people are so high on Garoppolo. If they watch him play, you'd be able to see that. Oh, he's not the one doing the work here.
Yeah,
like when you watch the Seahawks, you're like, Russell's carrying this motherfucker.
That's the perfect example.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is a good quarterback. This motherfucker is doing it. You watch Garoppolo and you're like, they got a good team.
Yeah, they got the ball there, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you put it really low and the dude had to stop to catch it.
Oh, you got Emmanuel Sanders and Kittle that's built like a cyborg. Like, I don't understand. Like, it should be easier seen, but people are blinded by a record.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Parcells is wrong again.
Wait, Parcells wrong again?
You are what your record says you are.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought even like Parcells drafted him. I was like, well, hold on, wait, what? That dude been stopped. All right, so let's move on to 2 other quarterbacks.
All right, who we got?
First one we got is Eli Manning. Danny
Dimes has a moderate high ankle sprain, so it's looking very likely that he plays on Sunday.
Yeah.
Or that Eli plays on Sunday.
This can get interesting.
I'm thinking Eli plays the rest of the season. Because I don't know who the Giants have this weekend. I'm sure it's somebody that should blow them the hell out. I'm positive it's somebody that should blow them the hell out. Yeah. The Giants, they have the Eagles. The Eagles are kind of underachieving.
Yeah.
They just lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And if anybody's going to come in and beat the Eagles when they shouldn't beat the fucking Eagles, it's going to be Eli Manning.
Yeah.
When Saquon was doing really well, who was his quarterback?
Eli Manning. Yeah.
Eli Manning. I feel like this is the game that if you've been for some reason you've benched Saquon on your fantasy because you're like, bro, this man getting 1.3 yards a carry. I can't do this shit. This ain't cutting it. Yeah. I think you start Saquon because you know Eli's going to throw him the ball 15 fucking times.
Yeah.
You start Sterling Shepard because you know he's going to feed that to him as well. I don't know what Evan Ingram's doing. He's been kind of letting me down this year.
I want to say he's been out.
He's been injured a lot too. But I feel like Eli Manning comes in and they win this game. They win this game and Eli has a good game to the point where they're like, well, let's let him rest his ankle one more week.
Yeah. And
they're like, okay, he's still coming off of this ankle injury, so we'll let him rest one more week. And then the second week, Eli goes out and wins again. And then they're like, Eli's going to be our starting quarterback for the rest of the week or for the rest of the season. Now they're not going to do well. They're 2-10. They're fucking going to be. They're going to be 6-10 if they win out the rest of their games at best. So it's not going to be like, oh, Eli took us to the playoffs. But they got the Eagles, beatable because they're underachieving. They got the Dolphins, which are the Dolphins. While a good team, they're still the Dolphins. They've got the Redskins, which is also a very underachieving team. They've got Haskins to play against. Eli can outplay Haskins in his sleep probably.
Yeah.
Even at 68 and slow. And then they got the Eagles again.
Yeah.
It's very reasonable to believe that Eli can come and win 4 games and make this team 6-10.
Yeah, I think that anybody can, not anybody, but
a competent
anybody can beat those 4 teams. Yeah. Have a good stretch of those.
And while games. Eli's never been some great quarterback, but he's got 2 Super Bowls. He knows what he's doing at least a little bit. I feel like Eli right now gives your team the best chance to win. It's also going to open up Saquon, and we're going to be like, oh, okay, something's just weird with how Danny distributes the ball or how they run the offense when Saquon or when Danny's in there compared to how they run it when Eli's in there. Maybe it's just an experience thing, but Eli wins the last 4 games of the season, and now next year they're like, fuck, who do we start? That or Eli's like, fuck y'all, I'm out. And then he goes somewhere else. But this either rejuvenates Eli's last 2-3 years in the NFL or it keeps it's either he's gonna have 3 more years in the NFL. If he wins these last 4 games, he's gonna have 2 to 3 more years in the NFL. It's either gonna be in New York and it's gonna be his team once more in New York.
That's not,
which is highly unlikely because they like Danny Dimes. Or he's gonna go somewhere else where he can get better weapons. Maybe a offense that's more equipped. Maybe that somebody that has an offensive line so he's not broken.
Yeah,
and he can win games. He's not. He's a 500 quarterback. He's won 116. He's lost 116. It's not great.
Sounds a lot like Phillip Rivers.
It's not great, but he can win you games, and I feel like he does it.
All right. Yeah, this is where we disagree. Now, can I see a situation where Eli Manning comes in and wins 4 games? Yes. Against that schedule? Yeah, yes. Absolutely. Can I see a scenario where those 4 games, if he throws 250 yards a game, a touchdown and a half per game, and keeps the interceptions out of 4 games to maybe 1 or 2?
Yeah.
I can absolutely see a team next year desperate for a quarterback. Biting on them. They were going for a guy first in the first round of the draft. They missed their guy. Mm-hmm. They got a project instead of an actual guy they wanted. And they just like, all right, you know what? We'll sign Eli, and we'll let him play 1 year. Yeah. Now, I feel like teams in that scenario are slim to none.
They're slimming because now they're finding out that they have other quarterbacks on their roster.
Because like I say, last year it was like, oh, Jacksonville, send them to Jacksonville.
Yeah, they got Gardner Minshew.
They got 2 guys. They got 1 guy they don't want to start right now, but they pay so much money they're probably going to start at some point next year. And they got Gardner Minshew who's showing all the all the necessary things other than if he could stop fumbling.
Yeah.
He's showing all the necessary things that he could win that team. I don't see a spot for Eli, but I've seen this before where if a guy has sometimes just a 1-game stretch, Matt Flynn style.
Yeah.
One or 2 games. And people are like, oh shit, he got something.
Yeah.
And they'll go sign him. So I'm not saying that can't happen. But no way he's back in New York next year. Because that ruins the Danny Dimes thing. They drafted him 5th overall.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That's not happening.
They picked their franchise quarterback already.
Yeah, they picked their franchise quarterback. You got to develop that guy.
Yeah.
And that's the same reason I think that even if he wins 2 games,
they bring him back. He's our quarterback.
Because
he's our quarterback.
What are you doing by winning 4 games with Eli? It's better to get the experience and lose 4 games than to win 4 games with Eli.
Teams are shady. You could have the doctors like, bruh, that ankle's bad.
We've seen it before.
Yeah.
We've seen shit like that before.
So, who knows?
And Eli's trash, bro. Like,
by definition, he is not trash. He is very average.
What's average?
Winning 116, losing 116.
Yeah, but
with 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, when those 2 Super Bowls and most of those wins were years ago.
Yes, he is very average.
No, he was average when he was winning. Now what is he?
Average.
Bruh.
Even after all is said and done, he's 116 and 116.
That would be like...
He is right down the middle.
That would be like bringing...
I would take Eli Manning over Tom Brady.
All right. I feel like... I don't know if you're trolling me or just trying to ruin your reputation. I'm not sure what's going on.
I wouldn't take Eli over Tom Brady. But he's average. He is what he is. We've never expected Tom Brady to be Peyton Manning. We knew he was never going to be Peyton Manning. We knew he wasn't going to be...
Maybe me and you, but...
we knew he wasn't going to be much more than the Eli Manning that he showed us Sunday in and Sunday out. It's just Eli Manning. But I think he's more than capable of playing in the NFL next year somewhere. Somebody will take a shot. And it'll be somebody that we don't expect. It'll be somebody that's got a young quarterback that's kind of unpolished maybe.
Yeah.
And they're like, we need a vet. It's the same shit they did in Denver. Sign Flacco. Because they got 2 rookies that they're unsure of.
Now, that's a dude I believe can make the wrong decision. 100%.
Yeah. If they didn't realize that they might have a winner in their current rookie quarterback, I would say that it's very likely that they do that.
Yeah, because John Elway...
all his
football greatness, and then also how great he is at drafting the rest of that team. If he's the one making decisions for drafting Von Miller, drafting all these, like he's the person doing that stuff. He is incredible at drafting every position except for quarterback.
You know who would be a good buffer?
Who?
The Panthers. Eli would be a great buffer in Carolina.
Carolinians are slitting their wrists just from the thought of that right now.
Think about it though.
No.
What's I mean, you can say they bolster their defense in the draft.
Yeah.
They bolster their defense because now they don't need a quarterback because they've got Kyle Allen.
Yeah.
Whether he's the answer or not, they've got him.
Yeah.
They bolster their defense. Defense is better now. They're not getting smoked for whatever reason. They're getting smoked this year. All right. You've got the best running back, one of the best open space running backs in the game.
Yeah. Who's
a great pass catcher out of the backfield. This mimics very, very similarly what Saquon is, except he's obviously not Saquon.
Yeah.
But you got a good running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah.
You got good receivers. Well, a good receiver. You got a tight end that can catch the ball.
Yeah.
Depending on how long he decides to stay.
That motherfucker's tired.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, if you're going to kind of just maybe help Kyle Allen. I mean, Eli obviously he has vision. Maybe not while during the game. But I'm assuming that if you gave that motherfucker a tablet and you sat him down with a second year or third year quarterback, he could probably teach that motherfucker a couple things.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe you bring him in even in like a capacity like RG3. Like he's just there because he can teach you some shit. We don't ever plan on starting Eli, but that motherfucker knows a thing or two. He's been around the block. And then if the push comes to shove and Kyle Allen is playing like the Kyle Allen we've been seeing lately, then maybe Eli gets in that motherfucker and throws it to Christian McCaffrey 20 times a game.
All right. Before we move on.
Start him next year in your fantasy.
Before we move on. No way in hell that happens. The reason why is because when Kyle Allen has sucked, it has been because of pressure and because of what happens to him when he's getting blitzed under pressure, like how he lost his last game, where he's like running away from the defender, like backwards and shit, and somebody slaps the ball out. there's no universe where Eli Manning is better at that than Cal Allen is. There's no universe.
Sure there is.
No, because Eli Manning's
not going to backpedal no fucking where.